Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to another crafty decor adventure. In today's video, I am over the moon, excited to share with you some DIY, Dollar Tree, and budget-friendly decorative bow making. So you guys asked me so many times, how do I make my bows? Where do I get my bow makers and all of that fun stuff? In this video, I'm gonna give you guys several different bow making ideas that you all can use at home with and without bow making tools. I just wanna make things fun and easy. And I also recommend bows for easy last minute decorating. So if you guys have a space, you need a little fluff up, add a bow to it and call it good. Now, I love big bows and I cannot lie. So if you guys love that, grab some ribbon. Let's get to bow making. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, punch that bell. It will update you every time I post a new video. I post several DIY videos a week on YouTube, as well as several a day over on my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. So pop over there. I also have a free little group page if you guys want to join others and share photos of your home decor and DIY projects. It is a positive, crafty page, positive vibes only, so always keep that in mind. And I'm so proud of everybody over there that's posting. So anyway, without further ado, go grab your favorite wired ribbon or unwired if you desire, and let's get to bow making. Let's make an easy holiday bow, no tools required. So take some wired ribbon, measure it from your hand to your elbow, and then just simply loop that ribbon over on itself until you get the desired amount of loops. I usually do 4 to 6 times and then trim off that extra tail. I'm going to share with you guys how we're going to make a quick little easy tail. So you take a long piece of ribbon and you're holding that bow that you just made, those little loops, and you take that longer piece of ribbon for your tails and just knot it in the center. This is literally the easiest bow. It's even easier than my Olivia bow. I guess this could be like the Olivia bow part 2. I don't know, you guys, I'm actually somewhat bow challenged, to be totally honest with you, and I just come up with these little bow ideas on the fly. Okay, so the next thing you want to do with your fancy little bow here is pull those ribbon loops out. So this is really the key to bow making, is to take those ribbon loops and really fluffy duffy them out. Now, the ribbon that I chose to make this bow with is very flimsy. The more expensive ribbon, the bows will stand up a little bit easier, and you know, they won't kind of bend around. But the next thing you want to do is you want to dovetail the ends of your ribbon, and that's cutting a little triangle in an upwards direction. And then you can take and make a little cute little curly Q. That's one way you could do your bow, or you could just leave your tails long. Now, I think these curly Qs kind of look like my curly Q hair here. I was just kind of making a joke with you guys. Okay, but again, you want to dovetail the ends of your ribbon or just cut them at an angle. You don't want frayed ribbon edges. I feel like that's something that's really going to give you the edge, especially if you're selling your creations or you just want them to look nice. Maybe you're making a pretty wreath for a family member or a friend, or just for your front door and you want it to be beautiful and nice and finished. Make sure you give those ends a little bit of a perk up. You can kind of roll them or ruche them or whatnot. So here is how it looks popped into a cute little Christmas display area. Again, just give those ribbon loops a big fluffy duff. These are great for Christmas trees, wreaths, garlands. You can top them with a package. Pretty much any place you want to put a bow. These are a great quick and easy bow. I used this bow making technique on my front door garland and it worked like a flash, especially if you have a lot of bows to make. These would also be cute on the back of your dining room chair for Christmas. I just love adding bows. I think they make things festive and make you feel like you're in a super cozy little Hallmark movie. So there's a bow number 1, and I'm going to share with you guys some more bows as well. Okay, now grab a couple of different styles of ribbon. I'm going to show you guys an easy, quick holiday bow, no tools required. So what you want to do is you want to dovetail your end. So just cut a pretty little triangle in the end of your bow, and then you can use a measuring mat or a ruler or whatnot, and you want to measure your bow about 12 to 14 inches if you're doing a tree topper like I am, and you just take the ribbon and loop it over on itself about 4 to 6 times. It depends on how many ribbon loops you want in your bow, but for this one I did about 4 4 times, and then find your center and cut little bitty tiny notches in the center of that ribbon and set it aside. Now this is my Olivia bow. This is kind of a bow I came up with because I'm actually somewhat bow challenged. So anyway, now I'm going to do my second one, and I'm going to do this ribbon loop about 13 inches. So again, you just take the ribbon and loop it over on itself, and I like to do the largest one in the back at the largest size, and then I just trim an inch or two off the size of the next stack of loops. So I hope that makes sense. Comment down below if you guys need help with that. Now again, I'm just going to find the center, cut an itty bitty tiny notch. Now when you cut the little notches here, make sure they're really small. You don't want to cut them too big because then your ribbon will fall apart, and you don't want that to happen to your pretty ribbon. Okay, now I'm going to do about a 12-inch loop here. Again, I am making my ends pretty. You're probably not going to see these ends, but any little part that's sticking out from your bow, you're probably going to want to make sure it has a nice finished end. Again, loop it over on itself about 4 times. You can see I'm counting, and 4 isn't totally the magical number. You could do 5 or 6, whatever floats your boat, but you don't want to overuse your ribbon because we are going to do multiple different colors, and we kind of want the different colors to show through. But as you guys can see, I'm stacking this, and it's kind of getting a little bit smaller as we get closer to the center of the bow. Now for my last ribbon, I'm going to use this thin ribbon. These are pretty because it kind of gives a little bit of dimension to your bow making, since the other ribbons were all about the same size. It's fun at the very end of your project to have one that's a little bit smaller, but it's not necessary at all to make a pretty bow. Again, I'm going to find my center. I looped that ribbon over on itself 4 times, and I did that for each set of stacked ribbons here. I'm going to find my center of this ribbon and zip tie the entire thing together. You could also use floral wire or a pipe cleaner. These are so easy and fun to make, and they make the most gorgeous tree toppers. I use them every single year for all my tree toppers, my wreaths, my garlands. This is just such a fun bow to make. And the best part is you don't need any tools. You don't even really need a measuring tool as well. Now, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and really take those loops and twist them and fluff them out. So you can see I'm taking it kind of in fluffing and twisting to where you want that ribbon loop to be. And once you have it twisted out, that's when you're going to go back in and puffy up your ribbon loops. So you really want to work on that. That's really the key to a really nice, pretty bow, is really playing with it, getting those ribbon loops fluffed out. A lot of times I'll fluff everything out and then I'll attach it to my wreath or garland or Christmas tree topper or whatever I'm using this bow for. This doesn't have to necessarily be a holiday bow. It could be for any season. Just change out your ribbon. But once I have it attached to my project, then I fluff it again. And so that's kind of my secret trick. Now, here, if you want to add some tails, this is an awesome little way to add tails. Just cut some of the coordinating ribbon that you used in your bow, and make them as long as you want them to be. So this is going to be for a really thin tree topper in my dining room, and I didn't have enough ribbon to really go all the way down the entire tree because it's a rather tall tree. So I'm just going to cut some pretty little tails here, and I'm just eyeballing it. Again, making sure that I cut little triangles in an upward direction to finish off the ends of my bow. I call that dovetailing the ends of my bow. Now I'm just going to take and I'm going to pinch those tails in the center, and using that smaller piece of ribbon, I'm just going to tie these tails on. Now, maybe there's an easier way to do bows, but this is the way I've found that's easy for me, and so this is why I'm sharing it with you. Maybe you're a little bit bow challenged and this idea might work for you. Trust me when I tell you, I watched so many videos when I started trying to make bows, and I just couldn't figure out some of the ways that people are able to tie bows with their hands, and this was just my way to do it. I also have neuropathy in my hands, and so this was a way to do it without having to hold on to that bow, and I completely admire people that are able to make bows that way. I just don't happen to be one of those people that can do that. Okay, so I attached it to the top of this cute little Christmas tree in my dining room. I did have this tree just playing, but I did decide to add some ribbon to really zhuzh things up a bit. Now for this next little bow idea, I'm just going to tie a shoelace bow. So you take some wired ribbon and you tie a bow like you're tying your shoelaces. So when I reference a shoelace bow, this is exactly what you're doing. You just take that ribbon, slide it through, take the other side, slide it through, and then you just kind of pull your loops out. So this is just like you would be sitting down to tie your tennis shoes. Super easy, and you can play with the size of it. You want to dovetail those in. So see how I'm taking the ribbon and folding it and then cutting that upwards triangle. Now that makes a really pretty little bow. This ribbon is really cheap ribbon, so it kind of has a little bit of a hard time standing up, meaning that it doesn't want to like stay super fluffy. The more expensive the ribbon is, the better those loops will stand out and be puffy. But this is what we have so far with that one. Now here's another fun, easy idea. You can take a piece of ribbon, and what you want to do is you're just going to cut the ribbon. Now this is a great bow to make if you have a bunch of scraps of ribbon. So you take your ribbon and you're just going to fold it over on itself, find your center, pinch it off in the center, and then you can cut a longer piece of ribbon. You can leave this as is, tie it off in the center, you know, with a piece of wire or whatnot. This is kind of what I call like a sloppy tuxedo type bow. So there's the tuxedo part of the bow, and then you can tie it off with wire, or you can take another piece of ribbon and again create a bow. Maybe you have a hard time making the shoelace bow, and this would be an easier option for you. I always like to show you guys as many ideas that I've had because I've done a lot of bow making, and these are just tricks and tips that have worked for me, and so I'm really hoping that they might work for you. I know a lot of you all say that you learn from my videos, or maybe some of you already know some really great techniques and want to drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear how you all make your bows, or what has helped you and what your tips and tricks might be. I always encourage everybody to try bow making. I think it is a fun way to jazz things up. And if you guys hear that barking in the background, that's my puppy dog, Benji Bear. So anyway, here's those bows. You can give them a little bit of a curly cue, really jazz things up and make those ends pretty. Make sure you fluffy out your pretty little loops. And then here's how they look kind of popped into my little Christmas tree that's in my dining room. Now for this next holiday bow, I'm going to share with you guys how to make a bow with the Easy Bow Maker. I do feel like the Easy Bow Maker is really easy to use, especially if you have a hard time holding the bow or keeping it straight. These little middle prongs basically hold the ribbon for you, so you just slide the ribbon down into the little prongs and you make loops to do this layered bow. This is my favorite bow I always make. And so you want to do the loops about 7 inches and then shave an inch off for your next set of loops, and just get it smaller and add as many loops as you want. I hope that makes sense. And the founder of the Easy Bow Maker has a ton of videos that I'm sure help explain it just a little bit better than what I'm doing. But this is what I've found to be a really easy way to make a bow. It's kind of one of my bow go-tos when I get a little bit lazy with my bow making. You can whip one out really quickly. And again, I use this in all my garlands. And I'm going to apologize for my puppy dog, Benji Bear, barking in the background. I think he's barking at another puppy dog, trying to say hi, but really being kind of noisy. So I'm just going to tie it off in the center, and then a key to my bows, again, is really giving it a really nice fluffing. Now, for where to find an Easy Bow Maker, you can order these online at Deco Exchange. I know people have said that they've bought them at Michael's before, and I bought mine on Amazon. I probably paid a little bit too much for it. I think I bought it during the pandemic, and so there weren't a lot of shopping options for me, and that was before I realized it was so much cheaper on Deco Exchange. So really, wherever you want to pick up your bow maker is fine by me, but those are just the little tips that I have for you guys on creating this simple, easy holiday bow using an Easy Bow Maker. This video is not sponsored by them, but I think the lady that created it is really a sweetheart, and I think she did a nice job with this little bow maker. Now, sometimes those little wooden spindles pop out of my bow maker, so I did have to take I think like some wood glue and a hammer. I did this a while back. I can't remember which glue I used. And I really made sure that those prongs stayed in by gluing and then hammering those prongs in. When I first got it, it didn't do that, but I've had it for quite some time and used it quite a bit, so that might be why. Now I'm going to share with you guys a fun and easy holiday bow using the Easy Bow Maker, and I'm going to do a layered bow with different ribbons. So for this bow, you just take the ribbon, slide it down in between the prongs, and make a loop on either side. The Easy Bow Maker is kind of fun too because it has measurements on there, and the little center prong holds the bow together kind of like it was your fingers, and that way the bow isn't falling apart. And then you can just put your little spool of ribbon on the end. Now there are lots of great tutorials online, probably much better than this one, but this is just how I do it. Now I'm adding in a different colored ribbon, and these are my favorite bows to make when I do my front door garlands, and I use the bows at the very top because they give a really nice layered bow and really nice and fluffy. I do shave off 1 inch for every layer of ribbon loops that I'm adding. So these pretty ribbons I did buy at Hobby Lobby. And I think maybe Michael's last season when the ribbon was on sale after Christmas, which is such a great time to buy ribbon. So again, I'm just shaving off about 1 inch and just continuing to add different layered ribbon. And question about my ribbon, I do always try to use wired ribbon when I have that on hand. It makes a nicer bow. The wire and the ribbon just makes those loops stand up nice and fluffy. I have made plenty of bows though without wired ribbon, and really you just have to do your best with what you have on hand. I've made bows with scarves, I've made bows with lace, pretty much anything that you could tie into a bow I've probably used to make a bow, depending upon the resources that I've had to use and the budget that I've had. Now I'm taking a zip tie, and I'm going to zip tie the center of this bow. Recently I've been using a lot of zip ties with my bow making because it's really sturdy and heavy duty, and you can also use a pipe cleaner or wire. Really just use, again, whatever you have on hand, whatever you love, and whatever works. Now, if you're not crazy about these colors for whatever holiday you're decorating for, use different ribbons. This is a Christmas bow that matches my personal home decor in my home. So this is what I'm sharing with you guys. It's doing double duty. I'm able to share a tutorial with you and also decorate my home, which I kind of love, and I'm thankful that you guys are here for that. So I added one of these bows to either side of my mantle, and I think it really made a gorgeous addition. It just made it a little bit more fun and decorative. And again, these are so easy to use to fluff up your home. You can use them for Christmas tree toppers, mantle decor, garlands, wreaths. And again, you don't even have to use these for Christmas bows. You can use them for absolutely any holiday. We'll be making Valentine's and Easter bows after the Christmas season is over. So you guys know me, I love big bows, and I cannot lie. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this bow tutorial. So thank you all so much for joining me in another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and honor to have you all here. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I love to share with you all how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget. I truly believe you do not have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. I also believe that crafting and decorating is so good for your heart and soul. So no matter where you're at in your journey, keep up the good work crafting and decorating, and give yourself some grace. If you have a project flop out, which I do all the time, you know, either toss it or keep working on it or do something a little different next time. But just encourage you to keep going. And that's in general with your life in general, because everybody has something that they're going through. So get up, put on some cute lipstick and a cute outfit, and keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Same with you, except for maybe without the lipstick or with it. I don't know. So thank you guys again. It is such a true blessing and honor for everybody that comes back and loves on me and that is here for me, that has joined me on this crafting and decorating journey. I am just a mama doing what I love and sharing that with you guys. And always remember that you all can take my ideas and put your own spin on them. If you have a certain style that you love, take those ideas and create them to make your style, whether it be changing up the paint color, the ribbon color, the florals, whatever. So I love y'all to the moon and back. I can't wait to see some of your bow making posted over my Livy's Romantic Home Facebook group page. Pop over there and request to join. I'll approve your request and you guys can start posting photos of your home decor and DIY projects. I love to see what you guys are up to. You're so incredible. And I just encourage you guys to keep up the good work. So I love y'all to the moon and back. I am working on getting my home ready for a Christmas home tour. I know it's probably a little late in the game, but hey, I have kids in sports this winter season. And I'm cooking for the team and I'm doing my crafts and getting ready for my family to be here for Christmas and Christmas, of course, and then sharing all my crafts with you guys. So anyway, I love y'all to the moon and back. I'm hugging all of your hearts so tight. I can't wait for our next video. And until then, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.